What's up, guys? Mickle here, and we just got some breaking unexpected news that could actually be pretty massive for cryptocurrencies going forward. We know that one of the biggest issues with the cryptocurrency sector right now is the lack of regulatory clarity, but I want to show you something that just happened that could actually change that up a ton. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see that. You are not going to want to miss it. I also want to talk about in the beginning of this video, clawbacks coming to the XRP ledger. There are a lot of people freaking out that these clawbacks are going to be bad for the XRP ledger. It's going to make it so people can actually stop your XRP payments. In this video, I want to talk about why those people are dead wrong, and clawbacks are actually going to be a game changer for the biggest businesses in the entire world adopting this technology. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, though, let's jump right into it. I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I want to start out this video and actually talk about clawbacks because there's a lot of FUD going around the community right now about these clawbacks. There are a lot of people freaking out saying you should not be able to stop any payment on a decentralized blockchain. Essentially, this is going to give certain parties too much control over the XRP ledger, and they're really just playing into the narrative that clawbacks make the XRP ledger centralized. Well, let's start off and hit on the most important point, which is that these clawbacks do not actually affect XRP. You will always be able to send XRP to anyone without that XRP being clawed back, and no institution will ever be able to implement a clawback to take your XRP. What these clawbacks are for issued assets on the XRP ledger, and we talk about these issued assets on this channel all the time. I have painted a picture for you guys many times how CBDCs and how different businesses are likely going to issue assets on the XRP ledger. Now, these assets issued on the XRP ledger, say like Bank of America coin or Euro stablecoin, right? These are controlled by third parties. They're centralized coins. These institutions or these governments are going to want to build their own versions of their currencies on these decentralized blockchains so they can interact with the technology and move value all around the world instantaneously. But all these centralized institutions and governments are also going to want control over their own currency. If a terrorist sends a payment to someone using the XRP ledger, they're going to want the ability to roll that back. Obviously, they are going to want control over what happens with their currency. Say there's a massive hack at an institution and they actually need to roll back some of the things that happened via their issued currency on the XRP ledger. They're going to be able to do that using this new clawback feature, but only for their issued assets. What this clawback thing is really going to do is give institutions and give governments more control over the assets they issue on the XRP ledger, but it's not going to give them control over the XRP ledger or XRP. In my eyes, this is really the perfect scenario. It gives institutions and it gives governments control over the assets they issue, but leaves XRP as this decentralized neutral liquidity between all these different assets. In my eyes, this actually makes a ton of sense, and it's going to be really important for governments and the biggest institutions in the world to actually adopt this technology. Let's face it, big institutions and big governments require a certain level of control over their currencies. As much as we all want to embrace this super decentralized future where we have just as much power as the government and all the big corporations, that's simply not where we're headed. And if you've been paying attention at all over the last couple of years, we're actually moving in the opposite direction. These big institutions and governments need certain controls over what is happening in their financial systems, and clawbacks are just something that are going to be necessary. Now, to go off that note, it's also important to understand that Ripple is making dramatic strides in this field. Earlier today, we had Anthony Welfare tweeting out that Ripple actually just won another CBDC platform innovation contest, and this is a trend that we are really starting to see a lot. It was announced the other week that Ripple is already working with close to 30% of the central banks in the entire world on test pilots for digital currencies. Guys, that is almost 20% of the central banks in the entire world. That should tell you exactly why Ripple needs a feature like clawbacks. The largest governments and the largest institutions are adopting the XRP ledger to issue their value on this technology. These institutions and governments understand that they need better technology to move value, but they need to make sure that they can actually meet the adequate regulations that are already in place today. What these central banks, what these institutions are likely telling Ripple is, hey, we are ready to adopt the XRP ledger in a big way, but we need to make sure that we can do things like clawbacks for our assets. This is why clawbacks, in my eyes, are being implemented, but also why I think they're so important. What Ripple has done is done an expert job of making sure to balance not to compromise the decentralized nature of the ledger while also giving institutions programmability over their own money. In my eyes, it really doesn't hurt anyone to have clawbacks on these issued assets, because if you are worried about an institution issuing a clawback over something like a Bank of America coin or something like that, just don't hold that coin, just use your own coin or use XRP. Overall, I think this is a really positive development because it just shows that some of the most powerful institutions in the world are gearing up to start using the XRP ledger in a big way. The fact that they are asking for this stuff to be implemented just shows they're really starting to look at this stuff on a much deeper level. So now I want to move on and talk about something that's actually very bullish for the cryptocurrency market, and this was completely unexpected. No one really saw this coming, and that is that Kevin McCarthy was removed from Speaker of the House. Now, I say this all the time, this is not a political channel, but when it comes to cryptocurrencies, obviously we have to intertwine with some of this stuff, and regardless of what you think of Kevin McCarthy or the parties involved, we're not going to get into that. At the end of the day, Kevin McCarthy was not someone who's pro-cryptocurrency. He wasn't doing anything on the House floor to push forward legislation to bring clarity to the cryptocurrency market. So right there, regardless if he's a Republican or Democrat, we just lost someone who didn't have any real say in the cryptocurrency market. Now, I never remembered him being outright negative, so just off the basis of this news, it's kind of a toss-up, right? We kind of lost a neutral party, so the real question is, who's going to replace him? And let me tell you right now, that's where things get very exciting, because the two people who look like are probably going to replace him are either Tom Emmer or Patrick McHenry. These are two people who have been pushing hearings over the last couple months to try to bring clarity to the cryptocurrency market. So we just lost someone as Speaker of the House who didn't care at all about cryptocurrencies, and are potentially going to get two people in the running who care a lot about cryptocurrencies. Now, the Speaker of the House actually controls what gets voted on, so they're going to have a much greater ability to actually put forth a bill that brings clarity to the cryptocurrency market. Now, from what I'm hearing, Tom Emmer is actually the person who is probably going to win Speaker of the House, and that is even better than Patrick McHenry, because not only is Tom Emmer pro-cryptocurrency, but he's actually also pro-XRP. Now, this would be absolutely awesome. I know Tom Emmer also hates Gary Gensler. He's really gone at his throat a couple times now. So this is the kind of change that could actually completely flip the dynamic for the US government over the cryptocurrency sector. Obviously, there's still going to be a lot of pushback against the asset class, but the important thing is we are going to have someone leading the House who actually has cryptocurrencies as one of their main priorities. This is something that's never really happened before, and something that a lot of people really weren't factoring in. No one thought McCarthy was going to lose his position as Speaker, and also no one thought McCarthy was going to become pro-cryptocurrency. So this is a huge switch up in exactly what is happening in the US government when it comes to cryptocurrency policy. Now, I want to play this video of Tom Emmer actually talking specifically about XRP, because I think it's going to make you really excited about this guy potentially becoming Speaker of the House. I think if Tom Emmer does in fact do this, we are going to see the pressure ramped up on Gary Gensler big time, and we're also going to see massive efforts to actually bring clarity to the cryptocurrency market in a very, very constructive way. There are very few people in our government who truly understand the nuance of these assets. Tom Emmer is definitely one of them. There's people on both sides of the aisle here, but right now we're really only focusing on the Republicans because that's the party who just ousted their own speaker. So I want you to listen to this clip of Tom Emmer to take this video out, because I think you're going to very quickly understand that he is someone who is going to bring so much more to the table for bringing clarity to this market than almost anyone else in Congress. Listen up to this.
Say over 2 years. First off, my position's very clear. XRP is not a security, all right? But even if you want to do this, you want to have this discussion, the SEC, my frustration, as you probably have heard very directly, you brought up in a very nice way. Maybe you should be doing this job and I should be doing that one, because I'm not going to be so nice. over 2 years is not only a problem, it is absolutely unacceptable. Because what this does is entrepreneurs like you and everybody else on this town hall, you start looking elsewhere. Money will go where it's easiest to flow. And the more the government puts in obstacles, and one of them is just inaction, the less opportunity we have to position the U.S. as the leader. And it's an obstacle to growth. So we're going to keep working. Really appreciate all your support. And together, we're going to keep educating these members of Congress. And as we're doing this and you guys are saying, I'm going to make a donation, forgive me, Perry Ann, because I know we are short on time. Again, do you know how powerful this is for some elected officials to look over and say, what's Emmer doing? He's getting what? He's getting, oh my goodness, campaign contributions. I need to learn more about what's going on with cryptocurrencies. It's just, it's human nature, and it's good. We need to push them.
Well, we want to help you in that push. So again, thank you for your leadership on this. I think it does have an impact. And look, it's been 2 years, but we're going to keep pushing.
So I don't know about you guys, but me personally, that makes me very excited for Tom Emmer being Speaker of the House. The other thing I just want to say is, regardless of what party you're on, I think it's really important to listen to someone like Tom Emmer or Richie Torres, he's on the Democratic side, talk about cryptocurrencies and understand that if you're someone who really doesn't care a lot about other issues going on in this world, I think it's really time to consider being a single party voter and supporting people who are going to support this industry regardless of some of their other beliefs. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.